Welcome to packet number 6. This is part 1. Today we're going to be talking about evaluating numerical expressions and combining like terms. So this first part, remember, we're going to be using PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. So let's look at A. Before we get started, remember exponents, 4 to the third means 4 times 4 times 4, not 4 times 3. So just remember your exponent rules. So looking at A, we have 3 plus 10 divided by 2. Division comes first, so we're going to do 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So we're going to have 3 plus 5, and 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay, looking at B, I have 18 divided by 6 times 5. Now, in PEMDAS, it says multiplication first, but that doesn't mean it comes first. It just means if you have multiplying and dividing within the same problem, you're just going to move from left to right. So this is only multiplying and dividing, so I'm going to move from left to right. So I'm going to do 18 divided by 6, which is 3, and then 3 times 5, which equals 15. Okay, C has 24 divided by 8 plus 3 squared times 6. So this has a little bit more involved. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 8 plus 3 squared times 6. So I'm going to do exponents first. So 3 squared is not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3. So now I'm going to have 24 divided by 8 plus 9 times 6. So now I'm going to do my multiplying and dividing first. So 24 divided by 8 is 3 plus 9 times 6, which is 54. So now I just have 3 plus 54, which equals 57. Okay, looking at D, I have 45 divided by, in parentheses, 4 squared minus 7, plus 2 to the third. So exponents first. So I'm going to have 45 divided by 4 squared is 16, minus 7, plus 2 to the third. That's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So now I need to do parentheses. So I can't do division yet until I do 16 minus 7. So I have 45 divided by 16 minus 7 is 9 plus 8. So now 45 divided by 9 is 5. So now I have 5 plus 8, and 5 plus 8 is 13. I want you to try and do E and F on your own. So now we're going to look at what we call combining like terms. Now, like terms are 2 or more terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. So here's an example. I have 3 plus 4x squared minus 2y plus 2x squared plus 3y plus 5. And it says the like terms are marked with the same shapes. So basic numbers, x squared, y, and a basic number. So then it says when terms are alike, we can combine them to simplify an expression. Let's combine the like terms inside of our shapes. So 3 and 5 will go together because they're just basic numbers, which is 8. X squareds will go together. So now you have 4 plus 2, which is 6, so 6x squared. And then you have y's together. So you have negative 2y plus 3y, which is a positive 1y. So that would be your answer. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. Let's start with A. It says 2x plus 3x minus 4.5x. So they all have x, so they are all just combining. So I'm just going to move from left to right because it's just adding and subtracting. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So I'll have 5x minus 4.5x. Well, 5 minus 4 is 1, minus a half is another half. So your answer should be 0.5x. Look at B. I have 3.5y plus 2 plus 4y plus 1 1/4. So I have basic numbers and I have y's. So basic numbers, let's just do those first. So I would put together, and remember that sign in front goes with that number. So I have a positive 2 plus 1 1/4. So I have 2 plus 1 1/4. That's going to go together first. And then I'm going to put my y's together. 3.5y plus 4y. So then I have adding 3.5y plus 4y. Okay. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And then just add on a fourth. So you have 3 1/4 plus 3 plus 4 is 7. And then add on a half, 7.5y. So that would be your answer. You can't combine these two because this does not have a y. So you're not adding these two together. You're only adding what is similar. Okay? Looking at C, I have 4.5x plus 6y minus 3.5x plus 7. So I have x's, I have y's, and I have just basic numbers. And notice how I put some shapes, and that's just to kind of keep them separated. So this is an x. So we're going to put x's together. So 4.5x minus 3.5x. Because remember that sign goes with that number. So that's going first, plus the 6y plus 7. So 4.5 minus 3.5. Well, 5 minus 5 is 0, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So you have 1x plus 6y plus 7. And this is your answer. Okay? You cannot add the 6y plus 7 because 7 doesn't have a y. So those cannot be combined. So this is your answer. Okay? Look at D. D, I have 3 over 4x plus 2 plus 3 over 8x. Okay, so we have x's involved and just a regular number. So let's combine those first. So 3 over 4x plus 3 over 8x plus 2. Now, with this, remember when adding fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So you can just do 4 times 8. Or you can just know 4 does go into 8 2 times. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on top and bottom. So now this is going to be 6 over 8x plus 3 over 8x plus 2. So 6 plus 3 is 9. So now I have 9 over 8x plus 2. Now you can change this to a mixed number if you want, or just leave it as an improper fraction. And our very last one, E. 5x plus 2y plus 1 over 3x squared minus 3x. Now, I have x's, I have a y, and I have x squared. Now, with combining like terms, it's not just the variable, but it's also the exponent with the variable. So notice how these don't have an exponent. This one does. So this cannot be combined with our other x's. So I'm going to have 5x minus 3x plus 2y plus 1/3 x squared. So 5x minus 3x. Well, 5 minus 3 is 2. So now I have 2x plus 2y plus 1/3 x squared. And that is your answer. Okay? So as a recap, the only thing that you need to answer is letter E and F at the top. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask on Google Classroom, Remind app, or email.